Here coming to you with a brand new video. And as you know, today is day 376. Day 376 out here on the grind, folks, putting the work. And, my goal is to show up every single day and get the work done. You know what I mean? So, I hear a lot of talk about weight loss and how you keep off the weight and all of that talk. That's fine, that's okay. And you need this food, you need that food. Great. Because you cannot eat a whole bunch of junk while you are trying to lose weight. The two doesn't coincide together. And you cannot try to lose weight and at the same time eating a whole bunch of ice cream and burgers and fries and drinking beers. That's understandable. But don't rule out the grueling, rigid work that you have to put in. Some people say work easy. Sure, you can do that too. Sometimes it requires you put in a little bit more work. All right? So, day 376 days since I've been working out. Lifting weights, running, going to the gym, pull-ups, push-ups, work on my abs, all that good stuff. So, don't, don't take it lightly. Your weight loss journey. Hey, Christy, don't take it lightly. All right. It requires commitment. You need to be committed to the journey. Okay. Hi. Hi. How are you? Right. Yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. And it's so much politics around someone losing weight. So much politics around it. It's like a religion. People they become so religious now these days. And don't forget, folks, to subscribe. Get me up to the 500 mark. Trying to get to the 500 mark. So, it's so much politics, around so much politics around people losing weight, and the weight loss industry has become so it has become so politicized, and it's becoming like a religion where they know every single thing about how much you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. And I'm here to tell you, folks, if you put in the work every single day, it's a good chance you can eat some of this stuff and it doesn't affect you. If I want to have 2 beers, a massive hamburger and some fries, I can do that. Yeah, I don't punish myself. And I don't have a cheat day, because I know the next day I'm gonna have to put in the work to relieve myself of some of that food that I have ate. I'm gonna try to work that food into muscles and abs. So if you continue to eat burgers and fries and eat your big gallon of ice cream and drinking beers every single day without working out, sure, it's going to, that's gonna show around this area here. You're gonna see it. But if you start working out consistently every single day, the chances of you suffer from eating some fries and a massive hamburger and a couple beers, you do this once in a while, it's not gonna affect you at all. It's not gonna affect you at all. And I'm a living example, a living proof of it. Don't forget, folks, subscribe, like, and subscribe. Get me to the 500 mark. Yeah, and I hear all the time, oh, can I eat this and can I eat that? I'm here to tell you, yes, you can eat those food, but you need to understand that the next day, you need to be in the gym, you need to be on the pavement, you need to be running, you need to be pushing up, you need to be lifting weights, because you need to turn that food into muscles. And that's what you want. You want a muscle body, a lean body. I don't believe in starving yourself. Yes, you need to add fruits and veggies to your diet. Of course you do. But be honest with you, I don't really eat a whole lot of fruits and veggies. I don't. Because I don't believe I have to. I know I should do it, but I don't have to do it. All right? So for these fitness industry people to force it up on you that you should be rigid in your diet, and every single day you get up, you must weigh out how much food you eat and so forth. Look, don't get me wrong, some people might have to do that, because if you are one of those people who gain weight quickly, then you might need to shift that. All right. So I just want to talk about the weight that these weight loss industry people for a little bit. Yeah. So, but the thing that have been coming up here recently, which I think you need to stay in shape so you can handle it, is the difficulty of life. You need to be in shape physically. And being in shape physically also helps you mentally to deal with the world outside. Because it's hard. It is grueling. The prices keeps on going up. It's not going down anytime soon, folks. It's just not gonna happen. I was listening to How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And they were talking about this back in the early 1900s. They were talking about how everything's, how things are getting expensive. The cost of living is getting high. So this is nothing new. This is something I guess we're gonna have to live with. The paper money, because we print so much of it, there's so much of it out there in circulation, but for some strange reason, it is not reaching the common man. I find that kind of strange. But because they keep on printing money, and it's just paper money, then it kicks in the inflation, deflation, prices get high, rent goes up, the price of food goes up. Yeah. So right now, it is very difficult for the common man to live. And it's even more difficult to raise a family on the income that you have right now. It's just too difficult. It's not easy at all. So, our goal right now, as I would say this for all people all over the world. Hey Drew, what's up? How you doing? So, I would say this for people all over the world right now, because it's hard every single where. Everywhere we go on planet Earth, it's just hard. It's difficult. People are trying to make ends meet, and it's very hard to do so. So, we are gonna have to start to figure out how to get creative. So, three categories I'm looking at where we can become something or somebody. We're gonna have to come up with a product, make a product. I don't think most of us are gonna do that, honestly. I think a very tiny portion of us are going to create products. Create a service. Help somebody else with whatever they need help with. Walking pets, sitting pets, housekeeping, house, whatever you want, house cleaning business or something like that. And third category, learn how to entertain somebody. I believe a good portion of us can do that. Or I believe a good portion of us can have a service type of business, and also a good portion of us can entertain somebody. Most of us won't create any type of products because we are just, I don't think most people are like that. I could be wrong, but I would take the correction. Yeah, I would be glad to take the correction on that, because it is so difficult. So now we're gonna have to figure out how to earn more money. And this is a challenge, I know, for a lot of us, because we're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are trying to figure it out as well. So I was looking at, like I said, I was looking at those three areas where we can actually make that happen, make the side income, the side hustle, a possibility. Create a product, bring it to the marketplace, learn how to serve somebody, help somebody else. A service business, service-based business. And three, learn how to entertain, because now we have social media, and that's entertainment. So a lot of people are going there and are making a name for themselves. And shout out to those people, who are doing it. But it's or we can go work three jobs. I personally don't believe in the three jobs. Yeah, we have to add value to somebody else. We have to figure out how to help somebody else. Uh, yeah, and I you, it's, it, the there are a lot of people out there who are pro-capitalist, and they believe that capitalism is the best thing since sliced bread. They only can see the good that capitalism done for the 5% or 10% of the population, but they just cannot see what it has done towards the 90 to 95% of the people that's living under the system. It doesn't help most people. the guy, your apartment people, they can go ahead and raise up your rent anytime they want to. The grocery store people, the people who carries the food, who they can raise up their food price anytime they want. Meanwhile, our income stays the same. So our money keeps on going out and going further away from us. Because that's it. Everybody wants a piece of your paycheck. Yeah, there used to be a middle class. There is none. I think the middle class has been cooked when they started the war on terror. And that's 25 years ago, almost now. Yeah. That was done. That was done and over with. When they start that war on terror. Or 24 years ago. To be exact. They spent up a whole bunch of money there. I think in Afghanistan, they spent over $1 trillion, I learned, over that past 20 years. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that could do stuff for people. Could build schools, could build roads, could build bridges, hospitals, create employment. Yeah, those, especially those military officers. I would like to see their bank account and all of their finances, income, and their assets and everything. I would like to take a look at it. So the middle class has been cooked, folks. There is no longer a middle class. It's gone. It has been wiped out. So they spent $1 trillion in Afghanistan. And they went to Iraq. Lord knows how many billions they spent over there. Then they went to Syria. I forgot. Over the past 15 years or so, because that's how long it took them to take out the Syrian government. A good 15 years. How they spent billions of dollars to remove the Syrian government from there. And then more recently here, when October 7th happened, and then the Middle East was just chaos in the Middle East everywhere. I don't know the figure exactly, but it's in the hundreds, probably of billions. Who knows? Maybe 100 billion. We don't know how much they spend there on that, in the Middle East there for the past 2 years. Because there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of air war, missiles firing, people getting blown up. It's not for free. Somebody's paying for that. All right? So you can see, like I said, if you study geopolitics, and I recommend a lot of you do, you will see where the government constantly paying out a whole bunch of money. When you study geopolitics, you'll see it. It's like the money is just going out there. And we keep on spending more and more of it. Trying to hold on to territories. Trying to making sure that our boy or our boys are running the show. There's no free lunch here. But these guys, they keep on. Yeah. They keep on spending more and more money. Meanwhile, the people here in this country are suffering. Nobody cares about the common people. I am assuming. Because there is no real plan to put an end to the poverty, some people like to blame, just started blaming the people for everything. It's because you are weak, because you are not educated enough, you're a wuss. It's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. Meanwhile, the system is crumbling. The bridges, they need to be maintained. That's not happening. Our infrastructures are broken, are breaking down. We haven't built real training centers so people can learn how to make stuff. We're not in the business of making stuff. We figure out that we could lend money to other countries and put them in debt. So we stop. Our focus was no longer um, on productivity. So we don't produce anything anymore because we could easily lend money to Argentina and then bankrupt them. So that way they have to pay to us for the rest, until eternity. So that was one way how we learn how to um, destroy other people. It's by lending them money. Right? Now, that program, that mindset, we're gonna have to shift from that programming, shift from that mindset, and go back to producing, which I don't see happening anytime soon. I don't see any factories is building up, real factory jobs where people are gonna have to go in there and men are gonna have to get to work. All those tools in Harbor Freight should be gone from off of the shelf. We have houses to build because we have so many homeless people here. And you can't really, we have more empty homes than homeless people. But you see, you can't take those homes because the capitalists will come down on you and call you all types of derogatory names, because the empty lot, the empty houses are just sitting down there. These abandoned buildings, they're just sitting there. And I'm saying, fix up those buildings and put the homeless people or people who are struggling in those buildings to live. That's just that's how I look at it. I don't care what city you go into. Maybe if it's a small city, you might not see it. But these big cities you go to, you're gonna see so many abandoned buildings. They are just sitting down there. Nobody is using them. Why? And still yet, we tolerate that type of stuff to happen. How much more barbaric can these people be? And if you try to explain to people that we should actually take those buildings, fix them up, and give them to somebody who actually in need of a place to stay, they're gonna come down on you. They're gonna come down on you, and they're gonna, because you see, the goal has never been to help the common man. Never. It is always to work against the common man. And that's what they are doing here. And if a president come to power and decide to help the common man in the way of offering them homes, place to stay, they will be criticized. And they will be called names. All right? And I'm saying here, This madness must stop. You know what I mean? This level of insanity, barbarism, which we tolerated for all these years, because it's been tolerated. The drug problem, the homelessness, the poverty, people are going to their beds hungry. It has been tolerated. We tolerate that stuff. And you say, oh, we can't do any, we can't just do anything about it right now because we don't have the money. Oh, you mean you don't have the money to help the common people? That's it. Let some guy in some country somewhere need to be bombed. We will find the money so fast to make those bombs, load up those airplanes and flew them to those countries to destroy those people. So we have money for destruction, but we do not have money for development. Interesting. So this is where we're at, and these are the people who we are dealing with. They are not nice people. And if you complain about them, other people start to attack you and start telling you that you are, why don't you move to China or something like that? Because they're gonna, find something to tell you. Because you felt like the common man has gotten a bad hand. The system is stacked against the common person. It's a rigged system. And these people are wondering how they cannot get out of it. Look at their education. Look at their educational system, and look how it was set up. It was set up for you to go to work, get a job, and then 40 years later when you woke up, you were like, what the heck? What was I working for all these years? You realize that you have been tricked. It's a scam. So we need a new system. And this is not easy to do. That's why I recommend we should be spending our time learning how to help other people. Remove some of the chaos from out of your life. Those situations, circumstances, people, places, whatever it is taking up so much of your brain space where you think about it so much. Remove some of that chaos so that way you can start to see a little bit more clearer. Feel a little bit more happier, a little more joyful, a little bit more hopeful, because you need hope, and also you need a pathway. Develop yourself. Start working on yourself. Put in the work. It's hard, but we're gonna have to fight this. It's a tough system, so we have to fight it. Fight our way out of this criminal crooked system. All right. I believe I am going to leave it here, folks. Don't forget, stay in shape, get on the grind. Today is day 276 since I'm on my fitness journey. You too need to get fit. Get fit, get strong, get mentally healthy, physically healthy, So that way, spiritually healthy. So that way you can tackle the outside world, because it's very hard out there, folks. It's not easy. All right. Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video or a brand new live. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.